It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Good morning, model citizens. Welcome to Humanity Junction. My name is Heath, and today is Hangout with Humanity. So today I thought we would take the BLI repair instructions that I got and see if I can't get some of these BLI locomotives running as well as some of the Microtrains FT locomotives that I have. Speaking about Microtrains, I do have this really cool, there we go, Edgar Allan Poe, the Raven car that I'm going to run on my trolley track today, and it's actually got a pretty cool backside to it as well, graffitied up. So that'll be running in the background of today's stream if I can get it on the track as you guys take a look at my big old head. On the left side, you'll see the model railroading live streams. If you don't see your name up there and you host a regular show, please send myself or John at Schuylkill River Valley an email, or any of the Sidetrack Sunday crew, and we'll get you added to the list. Oh, and it looks like my little trolley car is... Things are off the track today. We're already having trouble running trains. Let's say hello, see who's here, and I just realized I hid that. So I gotta open that back up. There we go. So let's see, we got Andrew a step here. We have Anthony Dodge, the Model Train Outsider. We've got Colin Wykes joining us as well. Dad Cooks is here. Hi from H&H Express Model Trains. I don't know if anybody noticed. I think I just went through puberty. My voice just cracked. We have Mason Diskin Railroad. We have M&M Short Lines Railroad. Nisi J is in the house. Anthony is saying, I need to change my name. Everyone keeps calling it Model Railroader. It's just Model Train Outsider. Oh, that's funny. Did I say it wrong too? Anthony Dodge, the Model Train Outsider. Norm Miller's in the house joining us as well. We've got Ray Eltham here. Go check out Ray's last video that he just posted. Not only did he shave, but he also had a bunch of unboxings. John from Schuylkill River Valley, Steve Childers. Steve 87th PSAP is here, and Z Fantasy Trades joining us as well. I hope everyone is having a fantastic Friday, and let's say hello to Mr. Childers, who is joining us from sunny Florida.
A little overcast today, but that's okay.
Well, you gotta. It is what it'll be, I guess, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, on the schedule. So on the schedule, it's on the schedule that we have. It's wrong, Anthony. Um. Anyway, yeah. So um, I got distracted. But today, today should be interesting. That's for sure. You want to try and get my trolley running? Let's go here. You can see I've got all the locomotives lined up, ready to go. I've got my micro trains. I've got the directions, and back here I theoretically have a train that needs to be on the track, and that should be running now. Awesome. Uh, just says Tim says hi, Ding Ding. Who's Ding Ding? I'm so confused. So Steve, how things going?
Absolutely fantastic.
Good to hear.
I'm still working on JMRI, and I get frustrated or bored, whatever, with it. I move over, and I've been working on Chicago, Van Buren Street area.
I hear you on that. That's definitely one of the good things about having multiple things to do on the railroad.
Absolutely. You
Yeah,
don't
so
get too bored.
yeah, exactly, and that's what I'm looking forward to with the studio space is that I'll be able to set up more than one station so I can switch from working on one thing to working on something else.
When do you get to move in?
That is the $1 million question. The lease is signed, and construction was supposed to start this week, but it looks like it may start next week. So I'm not going to hold my breath, but yeah. So I was talking about Roy's new video, but Ray also has a mail call update video as well. So go watch Roy and Ray's new videos. Andy Ambrose joining us. Sparky 107 is joining us, and no, I rarely get people's names right.
And Mike from Wicked Insanity.
Mike's here. We got Wicked Insanity. We got Dad Cooks. We got John 2618. Bunch of people. Hubby took me to the hobby shop, and we spent 2.5 hours in the store. Am I nuts? Nisi, you're asking the wrong people. That 2.5 hours for any of us, I'm sure, isn't a big deal. So I want to try and change something. Does anyone know how to change? Let's see if I make this bigger. There we go. Let's make it even bigger. So what I want to do is I want to screen share. And in the process of screen sharing, I'm hiding things that need to come back up. So let's put this up here. I'm changing the size of my screen so when I screen share it, everyone can see a little bit better what I'm doing. So here's the plan for today. I'm going to use the DigiKeys software. And basically, this is literally what the DigiKeys command station looks like. And if you want to turn it on, you literally just click on the actual little button, just like there's a physical button. Here's the thing, and like to bring up some of the setup stuff, you just click buttons. So what I got, this window that I got here is the programming track window. So what I can do is I can put a locomotive on the track like this. I will go into CV programming and will read the address of the locomotive, which happens to be 7229, so the address isn't going to change. But then we go to test drive, and what I'll be able to do is actually, well, helps if I turn the track power on first. But then you'll see, and this microtrains locomotive, I'm going to let it run for a little bit just so that we can see at this speed just how smooth running it is. There's no glitches. It doesn't stutter. It just runs. So, hello to Joe Rock, Joe Raider, Black Rock, Central
You're having
Railroad.
a tough time today, buddy.
See, Sparky. Well, there's a lot of stuff going on. And Sparky started giving me a hard time about not being able to pronounce anyone's name, and now I just can't pronounce anybody's name. So, and I wasn't paying attention, so luckily I do have bumpers on the end of my track, but I did basically just run the train into the bumper because I forgot to turn it around. Northeast Jersey Rail fans here. Hi, Dad Steve. Oh, wait. Huh? This one. Sorry. Joe Raider, BlackRock Central says, "Hi, Dad Steve." Is Joe's dad in the chat? And is his name Steve?
Joe's older than I am, so I'm not his dad.
Well, maybe
He may
there's
be talking about Dad Cook and me, or the other Steve. May just be saying.
Oh, hello, Dad and Steve. Maybe.
Yeah.
I
Be my
gotcha.
guess.
But as people can see, like, look, like smooth as can be, smooth as silk,
Yeah, not
still
putting
moving.
those BLIs
Haven't
on
had
there.
to touch it. It's a so it's a Microtrains FT locomotive. It's the same as I say, like I haven't had to touch it. Of course, this one back here stopped, which is so these are both Microtrains FT locomotives. They've got the same Digitrax decoders in them. They got the same, motor and everything in them. And I mean, we all talk about how great Katos are, but this thing runs great. So Steve A7P7 says, "Keep up with chat, Heath, and you'll understand." Do you have any idea how hard it is to keep up with chat and not run my locomotive into my bumpers? So let me see. John, you're gonna learn how to fly again. Yeah, John's going into the simulator again. He
You may
mentioned
want to
that
check
the other
out
day.
CP's comment.
Frank, how's your new job going? I know Frank, I believe, started a new job last Tuesday, so this is almost the end of his week.
CP says everything goes over Heath's head. He waxes it for less friction.
Oh, geez, who said that? Oh,
CP.
Tim. Yeah, of course it's Tim. Yeah, Sparky, no annual recurrent in the simulator. Basically go through every possible emergency. That's kind of interesting.
Hello, George or Wally, one or the other. Probably George.
One or the other. Oh, and I'm about to run the train off again. So if people have just been watching the train, it's been, I mean, it's been solid. It's been running, no issues. Dragon Ball Tech, what happened with the interview you had last week? What do you mean by that, Dragon Ball? It's both the live stream and the edit of last week's video, which was on kit bashing, should both be up on my channel still. So I hope they're still there. Maybe they're not. Maybe that's something we need to look at. So yeah, I did have a job interview last week. The person that would be my direct boss has been on vacation for this, from Memorial Day off. So we're waiting for him to come back into the office, and hopefully we'll be having more conversations next week. My job interview. Yeah, so I had a job interview, but Frank actually got a job. That's the difference between Frank and I. I interview, Frank gets jobs. Okay, so we've all seen this. I'll bring this locomotive back up if at any time people think that the issue is track related. So, knowing where we're at now, I'm going to turn off the track power. We're going to go back to CV programming. I'm going to take this guy off, and I'm going to start with this guy. This guy, I think, is mostly okay. This is a... Somebody tell me what it is. I think it's a GP40, maybe?
Looked like
It
a
is-
GP something or another in the opening picture.
SD40-2.
Okay, so it's a 6-axle.
Yeah, they're all... So that's the other thing. The test that I did on a 4-axle FT,
Right.
and all of the ones that I'm trying to get to work are 6 axles. So theoretically, the 6 axles should do better.
Not on a tight turn.
Not on the turn, but I mean as far as lack of an issue between track and the locomotive.
Yeah, it's got more.
And
Or,
why does this guy keep
If
stopping
they're
me?
all wired, then it's got more track pickup.
Yeah, and if you pulled off the trucks,
Oh, sure they
you
are.
can see there are contacts. Basically all the, I don't know if you can see that. I'm like saying that. As you can see,
All 6 wheels are
yeah, I mean, you can kind of see the copper in there, and
Yep.
then you can see the copper here. So when these guys snap in, theoretically, they're all, they're all conductive. And these curves that I have here are pretty wide curves, so there's no issue with these guys going around the tracks. So I'm going to go back to the side. I'm going to read the address. Boy, man, I'm having a hard time talking today. Oh, Roy says he's got that same BLI SD40-2, and his run's great. So this is a refurbished one that I got from them. So this one probably will drive better than the other ones. And you can see as I turn the light on and off, you can see the light coming on and off. I think you can see it.
Yep.
And
so we know the decoder's getting power.
yep. So this one runs pretty good, if I recall correctly. I again, a lot of this is I'm just going through each one, just to test each one, just to see how they are. But this one's a pretty good runner, and I usually use this one. I'll lash it up to the other ones and drag them around because I was trying to break them in. And I think I must have turned the sound volume off on these, because when I try and play the horn or play any of the sounds, it doesn't play the sound. So I probably turned
Hit
it off.
F8. Hit F8.
Well, F8's off right now, and so now it would be muted. You can see it sort of change color, so now it's muted, and now it's unmuted. So theoretically, it's... Oh, and now it's making noise. I don't know. Can you guys hear the noise? Probably not.
I hear something, but
Yeah.
not distinguishable.
But yeah, so this one you see runs pretty good. John from 2618 says, all my BLI are steam and are shelf queens. Yeah, yeah, and I think these locomotives look great.
Oh, they do.
The detail on them, the paint job. I do actually think the sound on them is really actually pretty good as well.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, or fortunately, this is my best running BLI locomotive, and it's kind of, I mean, as Sparky would say, I'm sure it's the best locomotive because it's a Conrail, and we all know Conrail is the best, so that's why this is my best BLI running locomotive. Okay, so hey Vinny, welcome. So
Hey
this
guys.
one, this one's doing pretty good, and for whatever reason, I'm having problems with this guy today, which I usually never have trouble with. So now we're gonna get to the ones that, yeah, Sparky, Big Blue is the best. Yeah, that's, so that's working. Okay, so I believe this one runs okay. So this one's not great, but of my SD70 Aces, this is my best one, from what I can recall. So, it's number 1067, but I'm just going to read the address just for the sake of doing it that way. And someone's going to reset the internet. Like the entire internet or just your internet? Because that would be... Okay, so 1067. We're going to go to test drive. We're going to turn the track on. And this one, Alexa, turn off softboxes. So this light's a little harder to see, but you can see the light going on and off.
Yep, you can see it. We can see it.
So I know I've got power to it. And it's moving, which is a good sign. There is some momentum on these as well. So if you're paying attention really closely to when I actually click the directional arrow to change, you'll see that it still kind of continues going for a little bit, stops, and then goes back. So Nisi, yeah, I've run these. Did that just stutter? I run these up, down, backwards. I've done all kinds of things to try and get them to be better runners. It's these three back here that are the ones that I have the big issues with. This one's been fairly reliable. So the 1067's been pretty good. The Penn Central 1073 has been pretty decent as well. The 1066s, which is for some reason, see how it's stuttering? It's like, why is it doing that? There's nothing there that should be causing it to stutter. At least it's stuttering in the same spot. I think I have the volume down on this one too. Let's see if it stutters here again. Yeah, so everything except for this FT is our BLI locomotives. Basically, when I got back into the hobby and I started looking around, these BLI locomotives were the best looking thing out there. And dollar for dollar, see, now it stopped there. So here's the thing. If it's the track and it's microscopic dirt, why do I only have issues with the $300 locomotives and the $120 locomotive I have no issues with?
Have you cleaned the wheels on the logos?
I have cleaned the wheels on the locos as well. So this one I think is okay. I don't think I have an issue with this one. I'll show you on some of the other ones. They die and they just don't move at all. But, and so what they're suggesting to do, is basically pop the wheels off and check the contacts to make sure that, as I dropped the locomotive, that was good, to make sure that the contacts are all, clean, and that they are bent down enough. They say that sometimes if they're not bent enough, with the Andrew, with the expensive ones, they feel like you can pay someone to clean the track. So, if we look at these contacts, it's like they look pretty good. They're bent pretty well. So what do people clean their brass contacts with? I'm just curious.
IPA.
Yeah. I don't know where I learned this, but I learned at some point to use an eraser. I actually find that actually an eraser works really pretty well for getting most of the stuff off
It
that
doesn't
might
leave a
be on
film.
there. What?
It doesn't leave a film.
The IPA or the eraser?
The eraser.
Um, Depends how hard you rub it and if little pieces come off or not.
Yeah.
So he's saying do not use IPA. I have 91%. I could use contact cleaner too. I've got contact cleaner. I have dry graphite lube. I have Noox ID. I wonder if I could put Noox ID on it. That would be
Probably.
interesting. But I hate spraying this stuff because it just gets on everything.
Spray it onto a piece of cloth. Or
Well,
even
that's what
on
I was gonna spray it onto this.
Yeah. Or Q-tip
But
even.
even still, it seems to get everywhere. But this one's running pretty good, all things considered. We'll just wait till we get to some of the other ones.
I got a GP30, a P2K GP30 that I have issues with solder joints on wires getting
Mm,
loose, especially where it connects to the powered truck,
yeah.
and it'll that one will make contact intermittently, so it's running off the other truck, and so if one truck hits something, it'll sputter because the other truck wires off or
Right.
intermittently making
Yes.
contact.
Right. So Andy agrees with Roy, not Ray. Oh, about using mineral spirits. Yeah, I haven't bought mineral spirits yet for whatever reason. But
I use
you know,
99% IPA, and everybody says, "What's the other 1%? Water?" No, it's not. They don't label it as 100% simply for labeling laws. There's always going to be some
oh
kind of impurity.
really?
Yeah, you distill
Interesting.
you distill alcohol enough, you can get it down to nothing. All right, no, I mean, other than a possible impurity that's on the inside of the can, as an example. So, and if it's water, guess what? It's going to evaporate. That small amount's going to evaporate real quick in IPA.
Well, and that's why too. I don't mind using the 99 or the Alexa, turn on softboxes, or the 91. I, I wouldn't I wouldn't necessarily use the 70 though.
No, no.
But
I
the
get I
90,
buy a gallon of the 99% at Ace Hardware, and my wife uses half a can for her. She makes her own disinfectant out of it, and I use the other half on the railroad.
yeah. So let's just see. So part of why, even if the track was dirty, right? Like even if we were blaming the track, and of course there's always going to be stuff on the track. I still question why the why that FT locomotive from um, Microtrains would just be running so much significantly better than the BLI locomotives.
Different kinds of contacts. And the 6 axles provide a wider base of pickup and more pickup points. All right, but they still will bind in corners.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So we're gonna let's try and do this with this guy. So let's
Now that TRC 2-26, that's a good conductor, although they label it as non-conducting. It's a good conductor.
see, and now this has happened too, where
Now it's not running at all.
now it's not running at all, which
Did you turn the power off or power on, or
that's off, it's back on. And this was happening before too. Like I would go to the CV. Oh, let me turn this off. Stop this. So I can go to CV programming and it'll read the CV. Although it didn't read it that time.
that's because it's not making contact? You can't read it if it's not making.
Oh, I wonder if this is shorting it out. No. So for some reason now that I cleaned the track and cleaned everything, now it's not making contact.
Huh.
All the joys.
And see, you only pulled one of the trucks off, correct?
I did pull both off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you get them reversed?
They are reversible.
All right.
So it should not matter. Or at least I believe there were. Oh, there is actually. Now that I say that, they are. Oops, that didn't work. That bound that little piece of brass up. Bent that. I'm gonna bend that back a little bit. Let me look at these. Oh, interesting. So they are not reversible, and it does look like some are in one orientation and some are in another orientation.
Steve, the only thing I worry about on graphite, I hear what you're saying, but I'm always worried that the loco is going to pick up that graphite and it's going to get in a commutator and short a commutator out. Whether will or not, I don't know. That's just what I'm would worry about.
So anybody that yeah, the power, it doesn't matter if the power is on when you click the thing, it'll read it with the power on or not. Can somebody else that's got an SD70 Ace take a look at their trucks? And on these trucks, it'd be easier to just take it off. On the trucks, you'll see one side's got this little loop on it, and the other side doesn't have the loop. And I'm curious if the loop goes to the inside or to the outside of the locomotives. On all of these, it's going to the inside. But on this one, one's going one way and one's going the other way. And on this one, they're all on the inside.
Going towards the end? One going towards the end on each of that one?
On this one, they're both facing the inside.
On the one where they're not the same, are they pointed outside?
One's outside, one's inside. One's pointing towards the coupler and one's pointing towards the center.
Huh.
So Roy says the loop goes to the inside. So we're gonna go with that. So let's see now. Now that I've just messed with this some more. Okay, so stop, go. So power's on. People are worried about that. Now we're going to try and read this. There we go. Now it's moving. Now it's going to read it. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but now it came up 1067. Oh, Okay, so now it's moving.
It's off to the races now.
Yeah. So what I wanted to try and do, and we'll see if I can get it to do this. I was trying to lay this on the track, put one set of wheels over it, and spin the wheels. What I was trying to do. Let's see if I can. Oh,
That'll also tell you if one of the trucks is not picking up properly. That's how I figured out my GP30.
it ran for a second and then stopped. I'm wondering if it's got a. I don't know what's. Not like it's not just running. The second I put it over the paper, it stops.
So
Yeah, they look pretty and they sound awesome. They just don't like running.
does it do that on both sides or just one side?
Both sides it seems to be doing it on.
Wow.
But it's like, I mean, I just.
If it was one
Oh,
side
there we
versus
go.
the
Now
other,
it's spinning. Hold on, now it's doing it. Oh, now it stopped.
yeah, just wiggle the truck that's actually in contact with the rail, and I bet you it keeps going.
Yeah, it does a little bit. There we go. Now it's a little better. Oops. It does seem like. Okay, so it's running now. If I lift the front off, it keeps running. If I lift the back off, it stops.
So I would guess if you lift the
So
back off, it stops. I would say the front has
oh,
a electrical issue.
yep.
That's identical to the problem I was having with the GP30, my P2K GP30.
So it's running now, but then it stops every once in a while. So I guess anybody else with a BLI, uh, they can do this same test and see if you lift the front wheels off, does it stop or does it keep going? Oh, so now it's going with the front wheels off. Oh, sorry, right, with the back wheels off is when it's stopping. Welcome to N scale. Yeah, they look great, they sound great, but man, um, yeah, it's so on the Paragon 4, apparently they switched the manufacturing process somehow so that um this this issue goes away. But yeah, I mean it does definitely seem like it runs it doesn't run as well when it only runs when the back truck's in contact, not the front truck. And that said, this one's
Tra-
actually running pretty well.
Trace both sides of that truck back to the decoder and see. Bet you there's a wire off.
Yeah, and I mean, part of me, if it doesn't work, it's like part of me, I just want to send it back. Like I just want them to fix it. I don't want to have to fix it.
If it's new, yeah, they should. The only problem is
And
I had to send my one and only BLI back, and the first time it took them 13 weeks.
Well, that's what they said. That's why they gave me this sheet. Is they said, um, try fixing it yourself first because we've got like a 4 month lead time. But yeah, at the end of the day, though, I mean, I don't care if it takes them 3 months. If I get a locomotive back that I can actually run without issue, I don't
Well,
care.
I ran mine for five times, and when I got it back, and had to send it back in again.
Yeah, you see, it keeps stopping here, and I think it's when, I mean,
That's
it's
right.
as it's going around a curve.
It's transitioning, and that would again would lead me to believe there's a loose wire.
Yeah. Hey, Edward, welcome.
Hello, and how are you?
Hey, Edward.
I'm frustrated, but yeah, I lift the back off and it stops right away. I lift the front off and no issues. So I guess what I need to do is start a list on my piece of paper here and say on the 1067 when I lift the back, it stops or it loses power. So there's maybe a contact issue on the front truck. They did also give me this whole list of stuff where they're like, pull the truck off, and they want me to like take it apart. At the end of the truck, lift one of the tabs off the side frame away from the gearbox with a small pick, and then lift the tab, pull it apart. Clean parts 63 and 64 with some rubbing alcohol or acetone and a Q-tip, and then a drop of conductive lube to the axle tips and the holes, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that just sounds like work to me. So I guess here's the interesting thing. Okay, so we know on that one, yeah, they look great in the display cabinet and they look great boxed. So what I might
Like a
find.
complete product.
Say that again, Edward.
It's sounds like a nickel plate products product.
Yeah, exactly. So one thing I might try though is, so if I think that 1067 has a front truck issue, let's see what 1073 has. Maybe 1073 will have a different truck issue, and maybe if I just swap the trucks around enough, I'll be able to find enough that'll work.
I don't think it's the truck.
Well, so what BLI is thinking it is the connection here between the wheel
Uh-huh.
and the little piece of brass that connects the three wheels together.
Wow.
So I think what they're saying is clean that connection, because if it's not this connection here between this and the locomotive, then maybe it's between the axle and the brass piece on the side. At least that's the impression that I'm getting, is that that's what they potentially think it is. Oh, definitely some dirt coming off on this guy. Oops. It's always bad when someone says oops, right? I was doing that and I pushed down and it felt like I was pushing something apart. So I'm just, before we test this, I'm taking it off and I'm just going to do a little wheel clean on it. doing this a little bit, which seems to be getting off some stuff. Maybe this'll help or not. I apologize that I'm ignoring the chat as much as I am, but
You inspired me to get my BLI out.
so okay.
I haven't run it in about 3 months.
Good luck. All right, so 1073 is on the track. We're going to dispatch 1067. We're going to read just to see that it can read it. Yeah, Leslie, and that's the problem, right? If you have to send it internationally, you get nailed on the taxes and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah. They make the assumption that it's being sold. It's like it's already been sold. But they
Yeah. Okay, so okay, the light is working. All right, so here we go. This guy is off and running.
the lights
And
are
it
on.
stopped.
Or now the question is anybody home?
The light did work. There does seem to be a spot right here that I mean these curve pieces are not as much of a curve as the curves that are on my t-trak modules. So if these locomotives can't make these curves, I'm in big trouble. Andy, yeah, postage and handling fees are a big issue. I've never sent anything back to BLI, just either swap the decoder or put them in a cabinet. It was, I bought all these locomotives from BLI because when I got back into it, I was like, I wanted the best. And, I didn't do my research enough. So this one seems to be running fairly decent as well. Although it did just stutter there. Yeah, it's the whole thing too with these sound locomotives that if you're running the sound and they stop,
Yeah, I turned the sound off on mine.
yeah, I've been doing that as well. But that was when I had the sound on them, they'd run and then you'd keep hearing the coupler crash sound just
Right.
over and over and over again as they sort of stuttered around the layout.
Well, one of the things that I've learned to do over the years is making sure that it runs on DC first.
Oh, interesting.
Because
See, so now I'm having this power problem with this guy. You see where it's like it's just not like
yeah,
I'm pretty sure there's nothing wrong with the track. Pretty sure. Not 100%, but pretty sure.
well, that's why you test out on DC first, because then you find out that if the DC is working, it eliminates that portion of what's not working.
But on these, isn't everything basically going through the decoder? Even when you use DC, it's still going through the decoder.
Yes, but it is also double checking to making sure that the power is correct.
You mean like with the trucks, like that both trucks drive the?
Yeah, because the thing is, right now you don't know is it a problem with the decoder or the problem with the trucks.
So
Especially
there
if they,
was some stuff that just came off those contacts.
and also if there's a possibility to remove the decoder and put like a dummy plug in it, so it
Yeah, I
runs strictly just DC. That's a way to figure out what what the problems possibly could be. If we could
But
actually.
it's like at the end of the day, though, I don't want to have to do that with a brand new locomotive. It's never, I get needing to break it in, but I don't
Yeah.
feel like I should have to go through all this work, just to get it to run.
Yeah, especially if it's a new locomotive.
And I ran. I don't know if you were here at the time, Edward, but I ran this. I ran this Microtrains FT locomotive that I have. So it's $120 locomotive versus a $300 locomotive, and it runs without issue.
I came when I came on. I think you were. You've only run two engines since I've been on.
Okay. So, putting this guy back together, wiping my fingerprints off. Somebody was asking if this stuff's plastic safe. The CRC 226, it is. It says right on it, plastic safe.
Yeah, but it will wear
Pull the
on
paint off.
traction tires.
Yeah. Whatever. Traction tires, who needs those? That's why you got bullfrog snot. So now let's see if this guy runs better. I mean, the other trick that I was doing with these guys is I would just run them, as fast as I could get them to run, just so that if they did have any issues, they would just sort of like jump right over them. Hold the loco upside down and then it doesn't drain on the wheels. Is he talking about the electricity draining out? Yeah, and that's Leslie. When I was getting into this, it's like I really wanted great sound, and I loved the idea of Rolling Thunder because there's no way to get a big enough speaker in an N-scale locomotive to have good bass. So by, offloading the bass sounds, by offloading the bass sounds, I think you just get much better. Sorry, I'm trying to pay attention and not run the locomotive off the track. You get much better sound out of them. Older Steve, plastic and rubber are different. Rubber doesn't like a lot of things.
I know it's different.
Yeah, so this one's definitely running better now. So maybe the key was I just needed to clean the wheels and clean that contact a little bit better. And so I guess the question is now, if this guy's running better, let me work a little bit more on this front truck. Let me work a little bit more on this front truck and see if I can't. Can you guys see what I'm doing? No, because I'm working over here. I'm going to try and clean this front truck up a little bit better, like I did with the other one, because that seemed to solve the front truck issues on the other one pretty well. What's funny is I do actually have like a Woodland Scenics tidy track wheel cleaner thing, and I'm keeping it nice and clean by keeping it in the box and not taking it out.
Well, you got to take it out of the box at least once to make sure it works.
Oh, yeah, but if I leave it in the box, it'll stay new.
Uh-huh.
No?
So you're planning on using it more as a collector's item?
My wheel cleaning tool is a shelf queen.
Is it what?
Shelf queen.
Oh.
What the reality of the situation is just time-wise, or not time-wise, space-wise, I just don't have room to like keep it out. So yeah, make the track camera bigger. I wish I could. Sure. I didn't know you could do that.
Congratulations, you learned something.
I didn't know you could put the screen share up as one of the small ones.
Sure, why not?
Well, DB Tech, you get a I don't know what you get. Anyway, let's go back to test drive. So let's see if this guy will run a little better now. AKA run it all. Yep, see it's still stuttering.
But it's in the corners, and that's where the wheels and the pickup, that copper strip or brass strip, whatever it is, that
But
runs alongside them.
But it's not in the corner now and it just stopped.
Is the front truck on the transition to that corner? Because that's all it would take.
Yeah, but it's the back truck that's the one that's supposedly working well, and it's the front truck that supposedly has the issue.
Oh.
And we can do this too. Oops. That is way too much. I didn't realize quite how soft this was going to be. And I need to turn this around or it's just going to keep running into the bumper. So I'm just putting a little dab of the Noax ID on my finger. And I'm just rubbing it along the rail. I love that it's Noax ID a special. I don't know why it's called a special, but anybody knows, I'd be curious. If people don't know what we're talking about, it's Noax ID a special.
It's C-Chem?
It's what?
That label. Hold that up again, please.
Sanchum.
Phantom. Okay, Sandcam.
I got this on in Chicago, Illinois. I got this on a small website called Amazon. But I don't know who originally created it. I know Bar Mills used to sell it for a while, but I don't. It's not on their site anymore, so I don't know.
Now the question is that do they have a B special?
That's what I don't know. I don't know why it's. I have no idea.
Because it sounds more like a marketing thing.
Martin says even G scale logos can't hold speakers big enough for bass, which is true too. But O scale and G scale definitely sound better than N scale on the low end. So this guy still seems to have some issue. Whereas that 1073 was now running smooth. So, I mean, maybe this guy, I do need to take the trucks apart and clean the contacts between the axles and the brass.
Yeah, it sounds like you don't have a very good mechanical connection.
Yeah, something. I guess the good news is, though, if I'm finding out that it's just this brass contact issue, I feel like I'm more happier that that's the issue and that I'm not having actual decoder issues.
Yes, because you could actually fix a mechanical problem. If it's an electronic one,
Yep.
that requires a little bit more.
But you see, it still just keeps stopping on me.
Now, do you have longer pieces of straight track?
I can no.
Because I was going to say, put all those straights together and all that, and see if it works that way, and then that will, I think, also give credence that it might be a mechanical issue. because it works. Because it
I
works
feel like we
fine on
shouldn't. It's so frustrating. I feel like we shouldn't have to compromise. And Nix is asking, yeah, I've been using the CRC 226 to clean the contacts. I have not taken apart yet the wheels and the pickups though. Which maybe that's the thing I need to do on this guy. You know, sometimes it runs fine, sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Exactly.
Sometimes you don't.
Come on, it's all about the bass. It is, as Megan Trainor likes to say, it's all about the bass. Yeah, so I've got the Rolling Thunder.
You do?
I've got the Rolling Thunder. I don't have a bass speaker yet, but I was just gonna buy whatever bass speaker. But here, if people are curious, this is the Rolling Thunder box. Basically, power to the subwoofer, and then on this side, it's got data and program reset, which I think are for programming it or something. But basically, that's how high tech it is.
Yeah, just RFs from the engine to that, right?
Yes. Yep. All right, so this guy's running a little better. Let's take a look at some of these 1066s because these.
I think it also does the stronger it measures the strength of the RF signal.
Yeah, so
And
you can set it up.
As the RF signal gets better, it gets louder.
I don't know about that. I know that it can pass from one to the other so that the sound can come from different zones. I don't remember about it being louder or not. Maybe.
I think
But
it does.
you're probably right. I just don't remember.
That's why
Steve,
they call it rolling thunder.
Steve 87th PSAP. Today is Donut Day, free at Krispy Kreme. I think that is a very important announcement.
Wish I would have known that this morning.
It's never too late for donuts, Steve.
It's too late to go up to that side of town to get some, though.
So before I even attempt to run this thing, let's take it apart and do all the different cleaning things to it that I've been doing to the other ones, and see if it helps.
I've got to ask. There's some reddish-looking stuff between the shelf you have your locos on and the track. That's not your blood, is it?
Where?
It's between your green and yellow engine.
Move your hand about a hand's that way.
Right
there
there,
you
right
go.
there, right there.
No, it's red paint from my NMROB and
Hey,
National Model Railroaders Build-Off contest thing from Walters.
You know, just trying to look out after you.
I appreciate it. So these are. So how often do people take their trucks off and clean the contacts?
Like never.
Yeah, see, that's what I feel like. I shouldn't have to do this. Although it's funny, I keep talking about how good these microtrains things are, and I keep having problems today with this guy. Don't know.
Yeah, I think I would do like a deep dive clean when I get a locomotive, but usually I'm buying used locomotives, not new.
Right. Yes. If I'm buying something used, I would expect that I'd have to do a little bit of work on it.
I've got 50-year-old locomotives I've never had to do this to. I clean wheels. All right.
So, what is this? Let's. Who thought N scale was a good idea? Ooh, that's actually really dirty.
The ones who developed N scale.
Oh, jeez. Now I'm knocking things off.
It's just like T gauge. It's like you take a look at that, and then it's like, who thought this was a good idea?
Yeah.
Using cell phone motors for locomotives.
Is that what's in them? The cell phone
Yes,
motors?
cell phone motors.
Didn't realize that.
I didn't know cell phones had motors.
The vibration
Uh,
motors.
Yeah, the vibration motors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what makes them vibrate. Of course, I think now they use. I think a lot of them use solenoids now because they're even smaller than a motor.
Well, I was gonna say too, though, T-scale's been around longer than cell phones. No, or is it new?
Yeah, it's relatively new. T gauge.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I think T gauge might be 5 years old, if that.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so CV programming. I'm going to try and read the address on this guy. It looks like that's working. Nope. Fail. That's not a good sign.
Nope.
There we go. And it's off. So this one I was having a lot of problems with earlier where it ran fine and then all of a sudden it just stopped working. Let's try this. Stop, go. Sometimes that helps. Don't know why.
Try the light.
Yeah, lights going on and off, no problems. So my 1066 ones, I feel like I have like real issues with them. The motor in a cell phone has an offset weight to cause vibration.
Yep.
Nick, there is a link. In theory, it pops up in the chat every once in a while. I don't know if that's actually been happening or not. Is everyone out of focus, or did I have too many mimosas for breakfast? I think we all know the answer.
Have another mimosa and may come back into focus.
Exactly. All right. So I have 3 of these 1066s. They all seem to be a mess, but this one's labeled A, so we know that A seems to have big issues. I'm gonna write this down. 1066A not moving. And 66A it's moving. Because what's the point of doing all this testing if I'm not taking notes? So
Yes.
let's try 1066B. I'm going to put it on before I clean it because...
You want a before and after?
Yeah, exactly.
That one's running.
Yeah,
I mean, a suggestion is to actually turn around and label all the chassis, just in case of the bodies get switched.
that's all that's labeled is the chassis. I don't really care which body's on it.
Gotcha.
As long as it's 1066, it's 1066 as far as the shell is concerned. Yeah. But these are just, I just find these so persnickety. So the answer to why 3, if people want to know why I have 3 1066s, is because I'm not very smart. When I was
going to go there, but
when I was first getting back into model railroading, I really wanted to run New York Central. And I did all this research and found out that BLI's got the best sound locomotives, blah, 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 blah. And I wanted to get a consist of 3 locomotives, and I want them to be New York Central. So I was like, oh, they're all the same number. I'll just renumber them. So I got 3 of the New York Centrals thinking I would just renumber them. Because I heard all these people talking about renumbering their locomotives and all this kind of stuff. So I figured, that's, I'll just do that. What I didn't realize was that the 1066, the 67, the 73 were all a part of this series of heritage units. So I didn't realize that I couldn't really renumber the New York Central 1066s because that would be kind of silly.
Why?
And then I thought about trying to sell them off, but then I was just having so many problems with them that so I am New York Central, not Norfolk Southern, but I don't really care. I don't really care what I'm not set on like a specific era. So, I didn't know what I was doing. That's the long and the short of it.
Yeah, because when I was looking at it, it's like going like that's not a New York Central unit
No,
because
it's
it's
an
way modern.
ST-78 heritage unit is what it is. Painted in the New York Central paint scheme. Just like all of these, right? Like, the B line, the Reading lines this is a heritage unit, the Penn Central is a heritage unit. They're not they really exist in the real world.
Well, here's a silly idea. Build your railroad that New York Central never collapsed, so they would have modern locomotives then.
Oh,
Uh,
I can't talk to you now. I'm sorry. So this one seems to be doing good. So I'm happy with this B unit. The question is, should I clean it or just leave it good enough alone the way it is?
good trees.
That's the $1,000,000
Pick
question.
pick your poison.
I'm going to leave it. All right, so here's the C unit.
Heath, I'm gonna drop off. I've got company showed up.
Awesome. Enjoy.
All right, we'll see y'all later. I'll try
See
to
you
make
later.
Anthony's.
Anything you want to promote?
Um, no. Just my tips of the day. Stay tuned.
Awesome.
See y'all later.
See you later.
Yep.
All right, so it's doing all this sound stuff, but it's not moving.
Uh,
See, and like even as I click F8, the sound's not going on and off.
Hmm.
Huh.
Are the lights going on and off?
The light is going on and off. All right, the horn works.
well, that's a good thing.
F8 does not seem to do anything. Oh, there it goes. Now it should come back on. And there it should go back off. And let's watch it move. See, so it's like, what's going on? Why doesn't it move?
It was moving. The 505 was working fine.
No, the B unit. So this is A, B, and this is C. The B unit is what I was running, and it was working fine. Okay, so see, Tim at CP368 Productions, you aren't alone in your thought, Heath. I've seen a couple people who thought the Conrail Heritage unit was a Conrail locomotive that was never repainted. Yeah. I know better now. I just can't. I would love to sell these off. With them not working, I just can't.
Well,
See
unfortunately,
myself sticking somebody with these locomotives. So
Well,
programming
you could
did
sell them as
fail.
parts. Unfortunately, that would be a lot less than what you paid for them.
Yeah, I was gonna say three. Yeah, sell a $300 locomotive for parts. So it's interesting that it's failing. I guess let's try cleaning this guy because I don't know why it's not reading the decoder for some reason. Well, let's get on that. Let's do some cleaning. So I am gonna have to get out of here at about 1 o'clock. So I am gonna clean this, and then I'll try and test it and do some testing. But for people that don't know, I have YouTube memberships. I have Patreons. I've got Amazon stuff. I've got basically just check out the description. There's lots of stuff in there, and it's a great way to support the channel. And I have a great interview coming up on Monday. We're still working out exactly what the topic is, but the idea of the topic is, what is model railroading? As we know, different people have different opinions about what makes you a model railroader. And we're going to have a little discussion on that.
Yeah, look at that. There we
Don't do
go.
that. Don't do that. Gotta go this way. Rats. Come on.
He
Go.
there.
Go down. Why is this not going in? Why are you not going back in?
Uh-oh.
Go back in. There we go.
Yeah. Over there. Uh-oh.
Mike, why do you keep saying uh-oh?
Because I got the cord tangled on something. I was showing off the layout.
Hello,
Come on.
Nick.
It's coming along.
Goodbye, Nick.
He'll be back.
Hi,
Like,
Nick.
hello, Nick. Bye, Nick.
Oh.
So maybe what I need to do is send back. So the A unit was the one that I've tried to run the most. And right now, neither the A or the C unit seem to be working. So maybe what I need to do is send back the A and the C unit. Maybe that'll solve all of my worldly problems.
Maybe. I wouldn't hold my breath, though.
Yeah, I know better than to hold my breath.
Yeah, me too. Oh, I'm officially retired now, by the way.
You are.
I haven't worked since 2002, but, I turned 62 now, so they had to do this thingy.
So now that you're retired, you gonna start building your model railroad layout?
I already did.
I know, I'm
haven't
just
worked
joking.
since 2002. Oh, because I was on, like, SSI.
Yeah, I
Even though
remember that. Yeah.
Even though I worked all my life, that's how it works. But it worked out in my favor, I guess, because I'm pretty ill.
Yeah, it is what it is. Man,
Yeah.
can I get this wheel back on?
I get a little tiny raise. That's good.
Well, it looks like Nick is back.
Yeah, I tried. Got trains running, so it looks like he's on mute right now. Nick has a video on the 611. If
Cool.
people are interested in that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what is up with this guy that I can't get these wheels back in. Dave is apparently being funny. I don't know what Dave... Oh, did he fix the locos? Psh, yeah. Come on, Dave. You've been around long enough to know. The B line, the Penn Central, and the Conrail are running pretty well. I'm still not having great luck with the New York Central units. And I literally can't get this guy back in. I don't understand. Apparently just keep pushing harder and harder until it snaps.
No, don't do that.
Alright, so here we go. Let's see, can we read the address? Nope, still failing on the read.
I was gonna say, if you're not careful, you might have to redesignate them as Pan Am and throw them out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my racing buddies did that with his computer. He lives in New York. He had a new one coming already, but
So I think what I'm gonna need to do is send back the A and the C units, because I cannot seem to. Let's see if this guy works now. There we go. So now this guy, this guy works fine. So maybe it is just that I've been trying to, the ones that I've been trying to use the most are just the ones that are the most problematic. I guess that's good, right? I mean,
You're wearing them out faster.
no, they were always a problem. So I guess I just need to lash up these three and stick those on the shelf, and or sell them off to somebody that doesn't care that they don't work.
Take out the
Nick's phone keeps dropping out. Yeah, well, if people don't know, go check out Nick's Crossings. He just did a really cool video on the 611. It was raining, but it was raining like just the right amount that it looked just really cool. It was just like everything was just kind of like glistening the way it was raining. So it's really cool. So let me just. So this B line is still, the front truck still a little off. Maybe if I'm going to send them back, I just send back. Oh, that's not going to work. Maybe because I'm already going to send them in a box, maybe I send back the B line with the 2 New York Centrals. Oh, now it's not working. Come on, read. There we go. Now it read. And
So you got one good working New York Central and one in the Penn Central?
yeah, the Penn Central seemed to run pretty good. The B New York Central ran pretty good. And my SD42 seemed to work pretty well. And this guy seems to work when it wants to work and not work when it doesn't want to work. So I guess, the mixed bag. Yeah, so maybe this one is okay. This one seems to be running now that it's running in a little more. This one seems to be doing better. Maybe it just needed an audience. Maybe it wanted a group of people to like come and like
Yeah, sometimes it's the the opposite. You have something that's running fine and all that, then you go to show it off to everybody,
Yeah.
and then it stops working.
Yep. Oh, got stuck.
And there's other ones that's like, I can't get it to work and all that, and says, see, and you try to show off the problem, and then it works fine.
Nisi says we scared it into working. Dave, so how do you like BLI locomotives? My answer is they look great sitting on a shelf. The tragedy of all this to me is that like, this Microtrains FT unit, I just feel like is such a better running locomotive than my BLI ST70 Aces. And I just feel like that's such a... I mean, it says a lot about Microtrains, just how good their stuff is to some extent as well, and how well priced it is. And I mean, I think as a lot of people know, I'm a huge fan of Microtrains. I mean, all this back here is Microtrains. The majority, probably 90% plus of my collection is Microtrains. I just don't, when I think of locomotives, I don't think of Microtrains. I think of BLI or Kato or... Yeah, so, Tim, I personally would not buy any Paragon 3 locomotives. The rumor is that they did a lot of work on the new version of the Paragon 4, and they changed the whole contact sort of setup. And supposedly the other thing about the Paragon 4s that are nice is they put keep alives in them. So even if they lose track power, it's a programmable keep alive that you can program. I think like the standard setting is like 2 seconds, but it'll supposedly go like all the way up to 5 seconds. And that's one thing I do like about the Paragon 4. So I wouldn't say take all BLI off your wish list. I would probably say, though, just be careful with the Paragon 3 stuff because it can be very finicky. Hey, Ray Boble. And so I don't actually have any Atlas, Athearn, or Scale Trains locomotives. The Atlas stuff I hear is very good, though. I just don't have any of it. I don't know. I don't know if I'll buy Athearn or Scale Trains. I don't know. It depends on what they make. As Roy says, get some Kato locomotives and swap the couplers to MTL ones. You'll be very happy. My 1943 Kato that I have is fantastic. My Kato GG ones are fantastic, but I do need to swap the couplers. I just haven't figured out which couplers I need yet on them. And races love my Athearn locomotives, which I have Athearn Blue Box locomotives and HO that are just rock stars. So, and I just realized I could have made this big. Tim says I was talking about my own. Yeah, it's, I guess as you could see, I spent a little bit of time today mostly doing cleaning, and I got 4 out of 7 working better. Oh, that's funny. My only N-scale Atlas was made by Kato. I believe this Microtrains locomotive is a Microtrains locomotive, but most of the Microtrains, not most, a lot of the Microtrains locomotives were made by Model Power, or are still made by Model Power, I guess. But I don't know who makes the FT, but there's no, like, if you open up some of them and you look at the paperwork, some of the Microtrains paperwork actually has the Model Power paperwork inside of them. But yeah, I'm happy I got this running. I'm gonna end this off by just showing everyone how great this. I say this, and we'll see what happens. But 4-axle Microtrains FT unit with I think it's like a $25 Digitrax decoder in it, and it's just been rock solid, running at really low speeds. I just think it's great.
Now that one does not have sound.
This one does not have sound. They don't make a drop-in sound decoder for it, but they do make Digitrax has a drop-in decoder for it. You would need to do a lot of machining of the chassis. It's a split chassis.
Gotcha.
And the power is transferred up through the chassis, so you'd need to do a lot of work to get a speaker and stuff in there, or at least from what I can tell, you need to do a lot of work to get a speaker in there. I like sound locomotives, but after sort of my experience with the BLI locomotives, I kind of threw my hands up and said, okay, I've had enough. But yeah. Uh-oh. Now it's stopping.
You spoke too soon.
It's like it's catching on something, too. Oh. Maybe because the front wheels were actually off the track. It was actually running with the front wheels off the track. Yeah, if anybody has anything to promote, any shows coming up or anything, post it in the chat. Looks like Nick got his stuff running. Nick's running a little N scale
Yep.
set that he's got, and he's got it in a little box. That box back there actually has a battery and everything in it.
Yep.
And if you go on to Nick's Nick from Nick's Trains channel, you can see him actually build this little portable box that he's got, and he could fit everything in that little box.
I've been trying to pretty much test this thing before I take it to Horseshoe Curve, and I haven't charged it since. And I've been running trains. Like last night, I just was watching TV. I was like going through all these locos, and it's still on 3 dots. So yeah, and I built
Doing
this
pretty
like a month
good.
ago, so
Doing pretty good then.
I'm ready. But I ended up picking up this yesterday. It's a little Alco from MRC. So I've been buying some N scale stuff. So you guys got me hooked again.
Got you hooked on the N scale.
Yeah, I blame you guys, small train guys.
It's all good. It's all good.
I need
If anyone wants to join my email list, here's the link for my email list. I've been sending out an email about once a week on a Monday, right before Modeling Monday, and just giving kind of an update on my videos of the previous week and what's going to be happening on Modeling Monday that night. Edward, anything exciting you got going on before I get myself out of here?
Well, we're doing some more build-alongs. We just started a, let's see, Bill Davis is doing a closed platform baggage car from LaBelle Woodworking. We have our continuing series of with Rick and Maureen Hunter with their 30-inch King Post truss bridge. Let's see. And
so basically just go to newtracksmodeling.com, right? Or there's, I guess, the YouTube channel New Tracks.
Yeah,
Modeling.
there is. Well, the thing is that the YouTube channel, that's more if you sort of just want to watch but not necessarily interact. We get more interaction on the Zoom call, which you have to register for. That's to keep the undesirables out.
Yeah.
But the thing
understand that.
Yeah. We're in the process of starting. Let's see, July 17th. Paul Egri is how to do a card model of an engine house. So yeah, New Tracks is more for people who like building stuff, not really buying stuff and putting it on a track. It's more of turning around
building stuff, yeah.
Scratch building stuff or doing craftsman kits. Trying to get people, as Jim would say, making modelers actually, learn how to model. Yeah, and also doing different stuff that techniques that aren't really taught anymore in cases.
Yeah, I've been doing that as well. My Modeling Mondays, I've been doing a lot more interviews with modelers that have been around for a while but aren't necessarily posting videos on YouTube, just to try and get that information, get the information out there. But yeah. Hey, Nick from Nick's Crossings, anything you want to share before I hop on out of here?
We've got Monday Run Day coming up on Monday, and then next Saturday and Sunday I'll be at Altoona. Actually, not this weekend, but the following. But this Sunday I'll be at the Ma and Pa Railroad doing a video because they're going to do their speeder trains. So, and the Ma and Pa was basically it's a short line railroad from Baltimore to York, and it was about a 70 plus mile trip through the woods for only like a 40-mile distance. Is because of switchbacks, and I'd say like 90% of the railroad is torn up. But what really put a knife in it, because like I-83, then they lost their mail contract with U.S. Mail or U.S. Postage, and then dairies, they lost all the dairies, so they just kind of died. and it's more of like a whistle stop railroad. But the Preservation Society does train rides every Sunday, starting this Sunday, and I think it's like $10, and they take you on a couple miles on a rail speeder. But they have tons of equipment. I did a video on it. I think it's called like "What's Left of the Mapa, Muddy Creek Forks." So it's pretty cool. They have a lot of maintenance away and stuff.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Ray says Mom and Pa Railroad close to home for me.
Nice. Yeah, me too. A couple miles.
Used to run behind his mother-in-law's place. Oh, that's really cool.
Wow. Yeah, I hiked as far as I could until I saw posted signs and shotgun shells.
Alan from Jumping Someone Else's Train says, I know the Mom Pa as well. So there you go.
Nice. Yeah, I'm surrounded by 4 railroads. I've got Western Maryland, and from basically west to east, Western Maryland, New York, or now it's NCR, which is Pennsylvania Railroad. Then to the right, MAPA. Actually, sorry, 5 railroads: Baltimore and Ohio, and then Pennsylvania. So all in a line, going north.
Yep.
Surrounded.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, everyone, for coming. I do need to jump out of here tonight, but I will be back for Modeling Monday. Definitely check the list that we showed at the beginning of the video if you're looking for any live streams that are going on. There's a bunch happening today, a bunch happening this weekend. Support your fellow model railroaders, and have a really great rest of your Friday and a great weekend, everyone. And I'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about